We've talked about components before, and within our circuit we have a range of different components. We've still got input, process and output components. Input components being ones that sense a change in the environment around the circuit, so it could be to do with light, heat, movement, whether or not a switch has been opened, closed, etc. Output, which is going to convert our electronic signal into another energy, so it could be a light, it could be heat, it could be sound, it could be movement. And then process is pretty much everything else. So anything that's going to edit or manipulate the electronic signal we've got. So we've got here single pole, single throw switch. There's going to be two SPSTs on your circuit. This is the symbol for the single pole, single throw switch. The pole is this side where the power supply or the signal is coming in, and the throw is the connectors that the switch can touch on the other side. So single pole, single throw. Basically, we're using a micro switch, and as soon as our switch hits something, it will close, and that will give a signal to the PIC chip. Resistors, these are used to reduce the flow of current, control the flow of current within the circuit, can be used to protect components, or it can be used to split the voltages. Capacitors, we've got two different types. We've got the non-electrolytic capacitors, which are like they're made from ceramic and they're like little lentils, and we've got electrolytic capacitors, which are cylindrical and have a metal casing. Both of them are being used as what are called smoothing capacitors. They're there to even out any fluctuations in the voltage in the circuit. So where our electronic signal goes to the motors, things like that, the capacitors are there to smooth out fluctuations in that circuit. So they're processed. Motor, it's going to give us movement. So it is literally, you put electricity in, you get rotary motion out. PIC chip, this is the brains of the circuit. This is what we use to achieve our computer control. You have inputs connected to it, you have outputs connected to it, and you program it using a flowchart, or depending on the PIC chip, you might use Python. And you're basically saying, look at your inputs, and if the input is doing this, I want you to control the outputs by doing that. So it's entirely up to how you program it as to what the PIC chip can do. And the PIC chip can be reprogrammed repeatedly. It's called peripheral interface controller because your inputs and your outputs are your peripherals. Finally, your voltmeter. This doesn't qualify as input, process or output because it is simply a meter which you can use to measure the voltage in the circuit, and you can use it to ensure that the voltage supply is correct at the different points of the circuit to make sure that things are turning on and off when they should be.